I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you broke them off. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week. Look at the spin. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
They'll try and run for the first time with Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Hey, gun. Wait. There we go. Gun. 22.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Ace!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And Duke Riley will get credit for the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Mahomes now to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
A former star at nearby Georgia Tech, Harrison Butker now for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Ryan to Sanu. Good for an Atlanta first down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Chris Jones on the stop.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a 2nd time.
Go! 12! Left!
He'll try and throw for it here. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
He better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be in.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Brooks Reed with a tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, You just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Butker now to kick this one away. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Hey, Tuesday.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Gun. Check. 4 down. On. 12. Check. 54, south.
From the gun, it's Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
No, they should have already said, punt it. Punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
Hey, gun. 21. Look out. Gun. Sit up.
Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Anthony Hitchens. In from his linebacker's spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. A toss play to Hunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On the run, this is Hunt. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Butker now to kick this one away. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, And
he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now it's Hunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll toss it to Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with that, they're now out of timeouts and still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now here's Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And the kick by Butker is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Let's go. Watch twist. 21.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Freeman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down.
Right. Go. 22.
They're going to try and throw. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Here's Hunt. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. that appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On third down, that's Hunt. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up fourth down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And you want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On second down, here's Mahomes. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Not that time for Watkins. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And the kick by Butker is good.